Hello, welcome to a new video. So I'm off today, going into Wales for a change. I haven't been to Wales very much in quite a long time, to be honest. I'm not sure why, it just hasn't happened. So I'm off out to Crickhowell, the Brecon Beacons. So we're off down through the lanes, down to the Severn Bridge, across Severn Bridge, up through Shire Newton, drop it down into Usk, through the lanes, around into Abergavenny, and then up yeah, so I'm about a mile outside Slimbridge at the moment. I had a bit of a problem with the battery, and the camera was actually flat. I only put it in this morning. I'm fairly sure I charged it at some point, but as you can see, nice blue sky in that general direction. If I pan around 180 degrees, it's a little bit dark that way, and that is a weather system coming in. A little bit of rain later, just for a change. I was looking at it on the weather radar on the Met Office app earlier whilst I was eating breakfast, so yeah, I'm probably going to have a few hours of rain later on. So yeah, as I was saying, I got a bit distracted because a couple of guys came along. Yeah, so out to Crickhowell, then back through Abergavenny again, and then back through to Usk, and back across the bridge. So it's a bit of a, if you look at it on the map, it's a bit of an L shape, and it's almost an out and back. I don't normally like doing those, I prefer a loop, but c'est la vie. So yeah, I didn't do anything last weekend. I had a proper lazy weekend. I've done quite a lot like leading up to that. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, and I shall speak to you in a bit. Hi folks, so the rain's arrived as expected. So as you saw, I came across the Severn Bridge, came up the track to the roundabout, which is about 3/4 of a mile over there, and I've came down, dropped down to this little hidden valley, this little babbling brook down here. And I'm now going off towards Shire Newton, which is up this little climb. This first bit's quite steep, and then it's not too bad after that. It's just a long slog. The daffodils haven't come out here yet. They obviously don't get a lot of sunlight in this little valley. It's steep-sided, I suppose. Oh, it's getting a bit horrible now, really. I'm just at the top of the lane, and it drops down onto the road between Usk and Wentwood, and I'll drop down into Usk then, and then onwards towards Abergavenny. Well, that was interesting, just in that little dip, you see. Anyway, I'm through these lanes. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm basically looping round to the left and drop down into Abergavenny. Oh, let's see what happens with this car. Well, you find me now in Abergavenny, and there's the castle there. So I'm about to go across Castle Meadows, which is part of Route 42 and I think maybe 46 of the National Cycle Network. It's a little bit boggy, as you can imagine. That last bit was quite hard. It's all sort of what I call dead lanes, you know. It's all sort of little hills, real steep buggers, you know. There's a little what you would call that, arch. I have actually been along here before. That was years ago. This hill in front is a tumble. I remember in 1986, I think it was, watching Sean Kelly ride up there, or at the road bit anyway, at the side there, not literally at that bit in front. Though that man, I'm pretty sure, could probably do it. Well, this is the River Usk, I think. The River Gavenny is the other side of town. I would imagine they probably join at some point. Massive group of walkers going across the bridge. Yeah, the river's up quite high, as you'd expect. Anyway, I'm going off in this general direction, well, following the river, to be honest, up to Crickhowell, and then looping back round, back the way I came. Yeah, this is turning a bit grim now. I, in hindsight, should probably turn back at us. But there you go. Might as well do it now. So basically I got here, because my gloves are sopping wet, my hands were cold, and I've bought some of these hand warmer things. You shake them, you know, produces some heat. Anyway, yeah. Obviously my gloves are sopping wet, so I've had some gloves from over there. You know, that you use if you're filling up with diesel. So I put them inside, put one of the hand warmers inside that, and then I put my gloves over the top. Hopefully that should sort me out to get me home. So that's looking back down onto Crickhowell and the Usk Valley. I've puffed and panted my way up here with cafe legs, but at least I've warmed up a bit now, so that's good. Well, as you can see, you know, the weather is pretty horrible. I should have done this yesterday, as I first intended. It was lovely all day yesterday. I'll use that as my motivation for getting up next time. So I do have another calendar event next weekend, the March Madness from Tewkesbury. I think it's next weekend, yeah it is. And yeah, another 200, that's a good ride. I really like that one. It's pretty hilly, and then it's a, you know, a flat finish up the Severn Vale, you know, at the A38, and generally with a tailwind, so you get blown back. But yeah, I'm not going to hang around here looking at these cabbages. I'm going to crack on because this is pretty unpleasant.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. The secrets die in your heart so slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I can't.
So there's a sign back there to say that the road was closed, and I was a little bit concerned. So I didn't really want to have to ride all the way back to Crickhowell, but yeah, this the road's fallen off down the side of the hill. So obviously you can't have traffic coming up and down here when it's like this. That's a rather lovely looking. Well, I'm not sure if it's meant to be there or it's flooding. Anyway, we're off in this direction. As I was coming along there, I was trying to remember. I know I've been along this road before, and it's part of the Eurovelo 1 or 2 routes, the Capitals routes or something like that. And yeah, the last time I rode this was August after COVID, when troglodyte English people were allowed back into Wales. So they did 200, basically almost the same as today, to be perfectly honest. A slight different route, you know, variations. And the girder bridge I showed you earlier, that road was closed because that same sort of thing as this, it was subsided, so they fixed it, and there's loads of traffic going along it now, whereas before there was people just walking along with their dogs, you know. Well, and again, go on, sing. And that's back from where I've come from. So to try and describe where I am if you're not from around this part of the world, on the sign there you'll see Llantony, Capeluthin and Hay-on-Wye, and this is the road that takes you up over the pass, second highest in Wales. Obviously I'm not going that way today, thanks. I'm going to go right here where it's signposted Abergavenny. I'm not going into Abergavenny, I'm actually going to a lane which will bring me out roughly where I was earlier, and then back towards Usk, and then winch my sorry backside up over Wentwood, and then back to Chepstow, and then back over the bridge, and then heading north there. But this really is a beautiful part of the world. I really do like coming around here, and I certainly don't come here often enough. So I spent quite a lot of weekends in South Wales when I was a child. My dad's side lived near Pontypool, so my grandmother lived there. It's a bit weird because that grandmother was English. She was married to obviously my grandfather, who was Welsh. He died, and she carried on living there. But on my mother's side, My mum was born near Tonopandi, so in a place called Gilgoch, and I actually did a 300 a few years back out to there, and went down the road that they used to live in when she left when she was 6 to go and live, you know, kind of where we are now really. And then met my dad and blah blah blah. So there's my life story. So yeah, whenever I come back to sort of Wales, I know I joke a lot, but it always feels like, you know, coming back to the motherland really, even though I was born in Gloucester. Anyway, I'm going to keep moving. It's one of those days where you don't want to hang around really. Well, that's us ticked off. I was going to stop for something to eat there, but decided I'm going to crack on and get to Chepstow and stop there. And then it's only sort of, I don't know, 35k home from there. So yeah, that climb up to Wentwood, that's looming. I can see it on the horizon. Anyway, to keep me warm if nothing else. Oh, the petrol station gloves have worked well. I must do that again. Hello folks, you find me in Chepstow again at the petrol station. I've got some sandwiches and what have you. I got the hunger knock. my complete my fault. I should have stopped in Usk. That was a bad call. But, yeah, I cracked my way up over Wentwood, and yeah, I paid the price, to be honest. I'm frozen as well. I'm glad I brought 2 packets of hand warmers. So yeah, I'm going to put. I got some new gloves, and yeah, I'm going to put my hand warmers in the gloves, and I put them in the palm this time, along the back of my hand. See if that, you know, works any better. It's about 8 PM now. I was quite late leaving, to be honest, today. I've got like 4 hours something to get home, so it's about 40k. So yeah, which would be good. So this is Richard from the future. The last time I spoke to you was in the petrol station at Chepstow. So what happened after that, and why I'm telling you this now the next day rather than at the time. Well, I rode across the Severn Bridge. The wind had picked up massively, and it was coming from roughly the north, and I chose the southern cycle path across the Severn Bridge to ride across, so I got the shelter from the wind. So the road deck is at just below my shoulder height when I'm on the bike. Obviously if you're tall it's probably your waist height, but yeah, so it provides a bit of shelter, and I really did need that. Anyway, it turned out that I couldn't ride one-handed, you know, with a camera or anything, and turned out hour and a half after I went across, they closed it completely, so timed that just right. I then struggled into the wind all the way back home, and by the time I got home I was completely smashed, and yeah, so I was in no fit state to do a video, so I thought I'd do it now. But yeah, it was a good day out. I was just wet and cold. Gloves got wet, and that's why I'd use those gloves you get from the petrol station to keep my hands dry, therefore warm, and that did actually work. So if you ever get that sort of thing on a ride, help yourself to a pair of those. And they're very thin, so they'll go into your normal gloves, and just keep your fingers dry, and therefore a little bit warmer, you know. Even with that on, you know, there was a couple of times when I could tell, you know, that the outer glove, for want of a better description, was sopping wet. Anyway, that's I'm going to wrap up the video here. So thanks for joining me on this one. Yeah, because of the weather, you know, I tend to hunker down and just get it done, you know. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you on the next video.